mortal. Darkness walls, arise my children. Feed, feel death's grip. Darkness walls. Inevitable. You will know pain. I will bathe this world in blood. Impressive, but futile. Swift death. Nothing.
Day 6 has come and gone, and we're thus nearing the conclusion of week 1. So I wanted to make a more in-depth video here on the character and how I've progressed it so far. As you can see in the introduction, I have killed all of the tier 17 map bosses, and it's actually become the only content I've been running for the last day. That is tier 17 maps. That's also why I don't have any experience, because I've been testing the build, trying to see what the limits are and what modifiers I can run and what I should avoid. If we take a look at the build here, you can see Shield Crush is up to almost 2 million tooltip here, in-game without buffs up. That is a very big number. So what has happened since the last? The Rapier is still the same. I have a new jewel here, which has a chance to avoid being stunned. I'll get back to this because I am now stun immune, even though I'm not leeching. Got a new helmet here. The dexterity is key. So I needed accuracy, spell suppress, and dexterity on a helmet. I would prefer one without the rarity and a defensive modifier instead. But it is what it is. It's very good, and I'll be using it for some time. Amulet is fine. I'll eventually want an upgrade to it, but it's good. This is a new acquisition, Empress Vigilance. It has a Corrupted Implicit that gives me a little bit more damage reduction. Usually in melee I'm good because I'm leeching, stunning, and killing things. So things coming from afar is what I have to look out for. This ring here is annoying, but I have to use it because apparently if you have physical attack damage, least as mana, on a weapon, it is a local modifier. So I've tried crafting it with the benchcraft. I also tried to make an enchant through the new runes that we have available. Didn't work. So I need a ring here. I'm annoyed about the maximum energy shield. I would prefer something else or something I could craft, but it is what it is. It's the means to an end. The Restless Defiance. This is a ridiculously good chest. I'm really lucky that I got it. The important implicit here is the reduced extra damage from critical strikes. That is a massive defensive layer. And the +1 to socketed gems comes in handily as well. I was unsure whether I was able to sustain it, because getting enough resists, getting enough stat points, because now that I could not play a ranger, I had to invest more into my passive tree in order to get spell suppression and elemental ailment avoidance. But I've been able to compensate elsewhere, so I can use this chest, and it is like a godsend when it comes to movement speed because of the 100% increase of onslaught. So whenever I get hit, and that is whenever I don't evade stuff because of glancing blows, then I have 50 seconds of onslaught with the double effect. So 40% increased attack speed and movement speed. That is really nice. Ralakesh Impatience. We've been talking about those before. Alicia's Delight. This is for the maximum frenzy charges. The movement speed is nice as well. Arn's Anguish, the red belt of these, would arguably be better, but if you just want raw damage numbers, but I'll cover that when we get to the PoB later, because I kind of think it's a trap. It looks really flashy and shiny, and it is good, but I think there are some things that needs to be addressed. So right now I go with Alicia's Delight. Then we have a big thing here, that is Circle of Guilt. I really don't like these rings, but I really like the implicit of the +1 frenzy charge. So the all attribute is fine, it helps. It actually, you could translate it into 20% chance to avoid being stunned. Same thing with the helmet up here. The 50 dexterity is actually 50% chance to avoid being stunned. The physical damage is fine, the armor is fine, the 4% additional physical damage reduction is also fine. But in a perfect world, I would like a rare ring with some life, resist, accuracy, other things. Maybe even some crit multi. So if I find or unlock the means of infinite currency, then I will replace this eventually. I'm not sure I will though, but yeah. And then we come to the big thing, Admiral's Arrogance. Cat's out the bag. These gloves are amazing and they give you a huge boost to damage. I bought these relatively cheap, and now there's only like 3 listed on the market, and they're from between 25 to 50 divines for frenzy corrupted versions. So sorry, they're not that readily available, but they might not be as good as people think they are right now. They are very good, but you can compensate. Let's just put it like that. So the +1 to all melee skill gems, that's the key part on the gloves, because Shield Crush has a breaking point at level 24. You can see here, if you look at the 10 to 15 added physical damage per 15 armor or evasion, if I remove it and put it down here, it goes down to 8 to 12, and also the flat base damage goes up a lot. The reason for this is that going from level 23 to 24 is a 25% increase in damage overall for the gem. So because I have +1 here and the rest is Defiance, and +2 here, that gets me to 24, the magical number, and damage is unlocked. Also, I have 17% chance that if you would gain rage on hit, you instead gain up to your maximum rage. It has a spread of 10 to 20, so this is a pretty good roll. All I have to do is gain 1 rage on hit, and whenever I do that, then eventually I will get up to maximum. The way to do this is, you're going to see this is also a new acquisition, a Lethal Pride. It has 1 rage on melee hit. So this is all the rage I have, and whenever I'm hitting stuff, I am at maximum rage. It takes a little while, there's a little bit of luck involved in it, but it gets out there real quick. Then there's some increased melee damage on it, some strength, maximum life, reduced extra damage from crits, crit multi, armor, crit strike chance. So I can get a better one, but I really wanted the rage on melee hit up here. If you don't have this or don't have access to it, you can take the 1 note here, gain 1 rage on melee hit. It will cost you a passive point, but it serves the same purpose. Let's take a look at the defense, because I have a 101% chance to avoid stuns. 21% here, but the remaining 80% comes from the tree and these tattoos here. You can apply the tattoo of the Tassalia Tide Shifter to a 10 flat dexterity node and get 10% chance to avoid being stunned. So I've cashed in 8 of these, so that's 80 dexterity I've lost, in exchange for 80% chance to avoid being stunned, getting me above 100%. That's why I needed the dexterity on the helmet. So if you were to benchcraft avoid being stunned on a helmet, you can get 20 to 25%, I believe the spread is. But if you get a dexterity, and you have the nodes on the passive tree for it, then you can get like, I have 50% stun avoidance on this one, so that's pretty good. It's a nice little trick. Also, it has allowed me to go from Endless Hunger, so I don't need this anymore to be stun immune, and now I have Bane of Legends, which gives me more damage and makes me immune to reflected physical damage. Yes, back to the gloves, because +1 frenzy charge is absolutely massive for the build, but how can we get it elsewhere? Hemophilia, I've been using these. I would actually argue that these are better for clearing map content quicker, especially if you are in like semi-open layouts and open ones. These gloves don't have the bleed explosions, so I have to solve things with direct damage, which is possible in tier 17 maps because they're confined areas. Like, it's kind of a maze structure in all of them, so monsters are clustered together, so I don't need the extra clear I get from Hemophilia. Another option is to get unique gloves and find something that's interesting. A pair that could be used is Great Old One's Tentacles. I bought these in case I wanted to check out Impale and try and do that with the build. So this is a pretty good one with the vulnerability on hit. It could be an upside, it could also be a downside, but I bought these in order to test them at some point. Another option is Hands of the High Templar. These are readily available on the market. You can get a +1 frenzy pair of these for less than a divine. But if you look at the second line, it says can have up to 5 implicit modifiers, while the item has this modifier. This means that people are corrupting these to have several corrupted implicits. So you need to find one with +1 frenzy, and then you can get like maximum life, attack speed, +1 to gems, +1 to aura, AoE gems, crit chance. There's a lot of options. Curse on hit as well, same as these. So you can find something good here, and depending on your budget, you can get something that's truly amazing. Then there's the last option in order to get the frenzy gloves, and that is buying a pair of synth gloves like these. And the reason why this might actually be the better option is that you can get crazy value from rares. Say you get a high life roll on a pair, some resist, some accuracy, something that frees up a lot of pressure and affixes elsewhere. And the way you craft these is you can either get essences that grant you flat life, but you can also be a little bit greedy and take one of these. I would probably craft with a tier below these, because these are a little expensive. The Shrieking ones, they have 15 to 16 increased attack speed when you put them on a glove, and they cost 2 chaos each. So what you do is you apply the essence to the gloves. This is actually kind of good, because here's the mana leech that I need. On these gloves, you could just craft flat life on them and call it a day, and these would be really good. So that's an option. Then let's take a little bit of a look on skills, because Shield Crush has a, especially if I go in Sand Stance and I start killing things, then I get 50% increased AoE. It has a lot of damage, but so does Shield Charge, and I have only linked Shield Charge with faster attacks, Fortify, and Brutality. So I'm moving, like, I don't have Onslaught right now. If I did, this would be a lot quicker. Also, it doesn't cost too much mana. I will clip in some in-game footage right now, where you can see how I am using Shield Charge, zipping back and forth between packs. I use it as a gap closer in order to get close to monsters with ranged attacks, especially ball lightning monsters. They are really scary. But you can also use it to break proximity shields. It's also just nice moving around quickly. And then in case you encounter a really dangerous monster, say a Soul Eater rare, which might be really slow moving around, but whenever it hits you, you're sorry. What you can do is you can just zip back and forth over a monster like that, and if you do that, then it won't really be able to hit you, and you'll just whittle it down that way. It is a nice little trick, and I was talking to a good friend the other day, and it kind of it might be a little pre-taste of PoE2 because we will have different skills for different purposes in that game. So that's actually the same here because Shield Crush is the main damage thing, but Shield Charge is actually doing a lot of work as well. You can see the damage of hitting is actually not small. So you'll be surprised about how much clear it actually gives you. But let's go into the PoB and look at some numbers. So sitting at, with 2 overlapping waves, at 20 million. I don't have anything extra here. I don't have my banner planted. I have not killed recently. Now we're 27. I don't have my flasks on because I am really bad at putting those on when I'm in game. Almost 35 million here. But this is conditional, so I remove them. Also, you can get better flasks on than I have. But let's remove these again. So, let's look at the items. Right now, I have Admiral's Arrogance equipped. If I were to, I need to grab these again. Let's put them in. So, Hemophilia. That's a big loss of damage, but that's because I no longer have the level 24 Shield Crush. So there's a big difference here, but we can actually get a lot of this damage back because Hemophilia gives you 25% chance to bleed on hit, and along with these two here, that is 45%. I'm sitting at 45% chance to bleed right now. That is enough to apply the bleed, so I get more crit chance against single target. And if you run with 45% and Hemophilia, that is enough to clear packs. Also, you could get tattoos, giving you some extra chance to bleed if you feel like it. They are on strength nodes. But I would argue that you can drop vulnerability. You can see that is another damage loss, going down to 13.8. But this gives some mana back. So let's try and make a new skill. Say we do a little juggling with mana reservation efficiency and put in Pride. Now we're back at 16.5, and that's the initial effect. If we put it at maximum, we're pretty close to where we were before. Still like a million short, but that's another thing we can do. If we make another new skill and say Assassin's Mark, and then just use Mark on hit because it's nice to have it automated. I just put in 20 quality because why not? Let's see here. Now we're at 19.1 million. And Pride. So if I remove this, I remove this, we're down to 13. Where did I put Pride? Here it is. So now we're at 19.1, and should we have things stay in the aura, we are actually above the damage that we got from Admiral's Arrogance. So there are ways to gain this damage back. Another thing I'd like to address is the damage warriors, people who just want the biggest numbers possible. And they like to use Arn's Anguish. I used this in 3.24 on the Raider I was running, but something has changed, and it is not possible to generate endurance charges through Enduring Cry anymore. So even though if I equip this, damage goes up by a huge margin, especially if I put on these gloves here again. So Arn's Anguish, why not use these? Because they give so much extra damage. Thing is, you run out. You don't have these charges on boss fights. They might even run out before the boss fight starts, and if you don't kill anything or stun it, most bosses are immune to stuns, then you just don't have them and you don't have the damage at all. So it means that we remove the endurance charges and we don't really have anything here. So I would rather go for a little less flashy number and have the extra defensive layer. You can see the HP goes up quite a bit, and some movement speed, which is also some sort of defense from Olicia's Delight. Yes, that was a lot of talking. If we go out to the tree here, I have some decent coverage on my resist. I need some chaos resistance, so I will probably be trying to make some more jewels. This one is probably the best target to try and get some extra chaos resistance. So there's still a lot of work to do, but the character is coming along real nicely, and I've been able to clear everything in the game so far. I haven't gone for Ubers yet, but I will soon. I'm getting a lot of fragments for those fights. And yeah, if you've endured this long, thanks for watching. I will end the video here with the feared kill that just in order to show how the build works. I don't navigate it that well. I take a few too many hits, but somehow I don't die because, well, the build is just really strong. So thanks again for watching, and have a good one.
Private show. A note of my might. Take this Bible. Twin terrors. Be healed and fight on! Don't advance. Life is so brutal. Another danger. Be healed and fight on. Twin terrors. Mortal blade is so fallible. Strong and hot. Take this vitality loop. Mortal flesh is so fallible. Worthy of my attention and my prize. Another round will commence as soon as I have more combatants.